I learned this lesson the hard way, and I paid for it in the only currency the market truly respects: loss. Not the small kind that bruises your pride, but the deep, humbling kind that strips away your illusions. You can call it tuition if it makes you feel better, but the market doesn't care what you call it. It only responds to preparation, discipline, and respect. And nothing reveals whether you possess those qualities more clearly than your trading plan. Let me be blunt. If you have no plan, you are not trading. You are gambling with a chart in front of you instead of dice in your hand. The ticker may look sophisticated, the platform may glow with numbers and indicators, but without a plan, you are no different from a man betting on red because it feels lucky today. The market has no obligation to reward your feelings. A trading plan is not a document you write once and forget. It is a living agreement between you and the market. It defines who you are as a trader before the pressure begins. Because once the market starts moving, once prices surge or collapse, your emotions will try to take control. Fear will whisper that you must act now. Greed will shout that this time is different. Your plan exists to silence both. I have seen traders ruin themselves not because they were wrong about direction, but because they had no structure. They entered too early, exited too late, doubled down when they should have stepped aside, and froze when decisive action was required. Each mistake came from the same root cause. They were making decisions in the heat of battle instead of before the battle began. A bulletproof trading plan starts with one unglamorous truth. You do not control the market. You never have. You never will. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you can begin to control the only thing that matters: your behavior. Your plan is not designed to predict. It is designed to protect. The first question your plan must answer is simple, yet most traders avoid it because it exposes their lack of clarity. What kind of trader are you? Not what you wish you were, not what you admire on social media, but what you are willing to execute consistently. Are you a position trader who holds through weeks of uncertainty, or a shorter-term operator who requires frequent feedback from the market? If you cannot hold a trade overnight without losing sleep, then any plan that requires patience over days is already broken. I learned long ago that success does not come from copying another man's method. It comes from understanding your own temperament and building rules that keep it in check. The market does not reward brilliance. It rewards consistency. And consistency is impossible if your plan fights your personality. Once you know the kind of trader you are, you must define the battlefield. That means choosing your markets and your time frames deliberately. A man who watches every market watches none of them well. Focus is not a luxury in trading. It is a requirement. Every market has its own rhythm, its own way of moving, its own temperament. Your plan must limit your attention so that familiarity can develop. Familiarity breeds recognition, and recognition is where opportunity lives. Your time frame is equally important. It determines how much noise you must endure and how often you will be tempted to interfere. Lower time frames invite constant decision-making, and constant decision-making invites emotional fatigue. Higher time frames demand patience, but they reward clarity. Your plan must specify exactly which time frames matter and which ones you will ignore. If everything matters, nothing does. Now we come to the heart of the plan: your edge. This is where most traders either lie to themselves or hide behind complexity. An edge is not a collection of indicators stacked on top of one another like armor. An edge is a repeatable condition where the odds favor you. That is all. It does not need to be clever. It needs to be clear. Your plan must state, in plain language, what must be true for you to enter a trade, not generally, specifically. If you cannot explain your setup in a few sentences, you do not understand it well enough to trust it with your capital. Ambiguity is poison in trading. When rules are vague, emotions fill the gaps. You should know exactly what the market looks like when you are allowed to participate, and what it looks like when you must stand aside. Standing aside is a position, whether you acknowledge it or not. Most losses are not caused by bad trades. They are caused by unnecessary trades. Your plan must give you permission to do nothing, and you must learn to respect that permission. Entry rules alone are not enough. A plan that tells you how to get in but not how to get out is incomplete, and incompleteness in trading is fatal. Before you enter any trade, your exit must already be defined. Where are you wrong? Not theoretically, but precisely. The market must know where you will admit defeat, because if you do not decide in advance, it will decide for you. Your stop is not an admission of weakness. It is a declaration of discipline. It is you saying, "This is the price at which my idea is no longer valid." Without that line, losses grow legs. They wander. They linger. And eventually, they destroy confidence, which is far more expensive than capital. Just as important is knowing where you will take profits. Hope is not a strategy. Waiting for just a little more is how winning trades turn into regrets. Your plan must define how and when you will pay yourself. Whether you scale out, trail stops, or exit at predefined levels, the rule must exist before the trade begins. Decisions made in profit are just as dangerous as decisions made in loss. Risk management is the spine of your trading plan. Without it, everything else collapses. You must decide, in advance, how much you are willing to lose on a single trade. Not how much you hope to make, but how much you are prepared to lose and still trade the next day with a clear mind. This number should be small enough that no single trade can wound you emotionally. Emotional wounds lead to revenge, and revenge has no place in trading. Position sizing is not optional. It is the difference between survival and extinction. You can have a brilliant setup and still fail if your size is wrong. Your plan must tell you exactly how much to risk per trade, expressed as a percentage of your capital, not as a feeling. Feelings change. Percentages do not. There will be days when everything aligns, when trades flow easily and confidence swells. Your plan must protect you from those days as much as from the bad ones. Overconfidence is a silent killer. It whispers that rules can be bent, that size can be increased, that discipline can wait until tomorrow. A bulletproof plan has no exceptions, especially on winning streaks. Equally, there will be periods of drawdown. Losses will cluster. Doubt will creep in. This is where most traders abandon their plan, not because it is broken, but because their faith is. Your plan must include rules for these periods. When do you reduce size? When do you stop trading altogether and review? Without these rules, frustration will drive your decisions, and frustration always seeks relief through impulsive action. Another element few traders include, but all professionals respect, is routine. Your plan should dictate how you prepare before the market opens and how you review after it closes. Preparation creates calm. Review creates growth. If you do not study your own behavior, you will repeat the same mistakes under different market conditions and call it bad luck. Write down your trades, not just the numbers, but the reasons, the emotions, the execution. Patterns will emerge, and they will tell you more about your weaknesses than any indicator ever could. A man who refuses to keep records is a man who refuses to learn from himself. A trading plan is not meant to make trading easy. It is meant to make it honest. It strips away excuses and forces accountability. When a trade fails, you can look at your plan and know whether the loss was acceptable or avoidable. There is great peace in knowing you followed your rules, even when the outcome was unfavorable. That peace is what allows longevity. I have made fortunes by respecting my rules, and I have given some of them back by ignoring them. The market did not change between those two outcomes. I did. That is why I say, with no hesitation, that your plan is more important than your strategy. A mediocre strategy executed flawlessly will outperform a brilliant one executed inconsistently. If you are still trading from your head instead of from a written plan, you are relying on memory, mood, and impulse. Those are unreliable partners. Write your plan, refine it, commit to it. Because the market will test you, not once, but every day. And when it does, only a plan will stand between you and yourself. If you believe that writing a trading plan is the end of the work, you have already misunderstood its purpose. The plan is not a shield you hang on the wall. It is a discipline you practice every time the market opens. The danger is not that you will forget your rules. The danger is that you will remember them and still choose to ignore them. That is where most accounts are lost, not in ignorance, but in disobedience. You must understand this clearly. The market does not reward effort, it rewards alignment. When your actions are aligned with your rules, and your rules are aligned with reality, results follow over time. When they are not, no amount of screen time will save you. A bulletproof trading plan exists to remove choice at the moment of execution. Choice is where hesitation and impulse are born. One of the most valuable sections of your plan is the part that tells you when not to trade. Silence this rule, and you invite chaos. There are market conditions that do not favor your method. Choppy price, low volume, erratic movement driven by news rather than structure. Your plan must define these conditions with the same clarity as your entry rules. You are not paid to be active. You are paid to be correct. I learned, through painful repetition, that my biggest losses did not come from bold trades taken with conviction. They came from boredom, from the need to feel involved, from the quiet belief that doing nothing meant missing out. The market punishes impatience swiftly and without apology. A proper plan gives you permission to wait, and waiting is often the most profitable position. Your plan must also account for the fact that you are human. Fatigue, stress, distraction, and emotion will influence your perception if you allow them. That is why a professional plan includes personal rules. Do you trade after a loss, or do you step away? Do you trade when you are tired, angry, or distracted? If you leave these questions unanswered, the market will answer them for you, and you will not like the results. Set daily and weekly loss limits, not because you expect to hit them, but because they exist as circuit breakers. When you reach them, you stop. No debate, no justification. The goal is not to win every day. The goal is to stay in the game long enough for your edge to work. Survival is the first victory in trading. There will be moments when the market moves exactly as you anticipated, but you are not in the trade. Perhaps you hesitated. Perhaps your rules kept you out. This will test your discipline more than a loss ever could. The urge to chase, to bend the plan just this once, will be powerful. Resist it. Missing a trade is a paper cut. Breaking your plan is a deep wound. A bulletproof trading plan also includes rules for success. What do you do after a string of wins? Do you increase size automatically? Do you keep size constant? Many traders self-destruct at the peak of confidence because their plan never told them how to handle prosperity. The market has a way of humbling those who believe they have conquered it. You must also build time into your plan for review and adaptation. Markets evolve. Volatility expands and contracts. What worked cleanly in one environment may struggle in another. But adaptation does not mean improvisation. Changes to your plan should be made deliberately, away from live trading, and based on evidence, not emotion. You do not change rules in the middle of a trade, just as you do not rewrite a map while driving at full speed. Study your statistics. Know your win rate, your average gain, your average loss, and your maximum drawdown. These numbers are not there to impress you. They are there to ground you. When you understand the math of your method, you will trust it more deeply during losing streaks and restrain yourself during winning ones. Confidence built on data is far stronger than confidence built on hope. Your plan should also address execution. Sloppy execution erodes even the best strategy. Are you entering at market or with limits? Are you consistent in how you place stops? Are you patient for your price, or do you chase movement out of fear of missing out? These details matter. Trading is a game of inches, and those inches add up over time. One truth that took me years to accept is that the market will always offer another opportunity. Always. The fear that this trade is the last good one is an illusion created by emotion. Your plan exists to protect you from that illusion. If a move happens without you, let it go. There will be another, and you will be ready for it. You must treat your trading plan with the same seriousness you would give to any professional endeavor. A man would not build a business without structure, nor would he sail without a chart. Yet many sit down each day in front of the market with nothing but confidence and a hope that things will work out. Hope is not preparation. Write your plan as if someone else had to trade it. Would it be clear to them? Would the rules leave room for interpretation? If so, They will leave room for excuses. Precision is kindness to your future self. The clearer the plan, the quieter your mind will be when money is at risk. There will come a time when you follow your plan perfectly and still lose. This is not a failure. It is the cost of doing business. Losses taken according to plan are acceptable. Losses taken outside of it are not. Learn to distinguish between the two, and you will stop taking the market personally. The market is not against you. It is indifferent to you. Discipline is not something you feel. It is something you practice. On days when confidence is high, discipline feels easy. On days when doubt is heavy, discipline feels unbearable. Those are the days that define you as a trader. Anyone can follow rules when they are comfortable. Professionals follow them when they are uncomfortable. A bulletproof trading plan will not eliminate losses. It will not guarantee profits. What it will do is remove chaos, reduce emotional damage, and give you a framework for consistent decision-making. Over time, that consistency compounds, not just in your account, but in your confidence. I have watched men search endlessly for the perfect indicator, the secret setup, the magical entry. They overlook the fact that their greatest vulnerability is not their method, but their lack of structure. The market exploits weakness, and unplanned behavior is the greatest weakness of all. If you take nothing else from this, take this truth. The market rewards those who treat trading as a profession and punishes those who treat it as entertainment. A trading plan is the line between the two. No plan means no profits, not because the market is cruel, but because it is exacting. Build your plan now. Write it down. Commit to it. Follow it when it hurts and when it feels unnecessary. Over time, it will do what no indicator ever can. It will keep you in the game, steady your hand, and allow your edge to express itself. In the end, success in trading is not about being right. It is about being prepared. And preparation begins and ends with a plan.